we have proper journalistic investigations into runaway kids. If we go 200 metres to the west, along here on Coventry Street, we had an arcade called Playland. Playland was a centre for runaway kids to congregate to, but they were preyed on. They were pimped out. There was many inquiries into them, but nothing ever got anywhere. And I can't remember the exact operation, but in the late 80s, the police did launch an operation. 5 people went to prison for their role in pimping out young runaway kids from these streets. And one of them was a guy called Charles Hornby. And Charles Hornby was an active member in this child trafficking paedophile ring. He's a cousin to the Parker Bowles. His brother, Simon Hornby, he got convicted as well for child abuse matter. He ended up being the CEO of W.H. Smith. So we're seeing that those high up were involved, and that also was linked in with Operation Countryman, which was a major police corruption investigation. At the time, the police had the vice unit that was governing this and dealing with it properly. The main detective on it, his name is on the RAINS list, and that is a list of abuse perpetrators. So it shows that these kids didn't have a hope. They were all under the guidance of the care system, yet nothing was done. And we're now seeing the backlash of it. We're also seeing one of the biggest care home abuse inquiries being launched this year, and that is in County Durham, Meadowsley Care Home. And in 2011, Pie Films did a bit of excellent journalistic work regarding a young lad called Adam Rickwood, who was the youngest kid ever to so-called commit suicide in one of these institutions for maladjusted young boys. Since Pie put out that documentary, 1,800 survivors of chronic abuse, which the Court of Human Rights have deemed now as torture, went on in this place. And it resulted in 2019 in over 30 years of prison sentence being dished out. Now, my point in saying this is that it wasn't the mainstream that did it. It was the foot soldiers, people like Alan Merritt, people like Pie Films, these independent survivor groups, like what you chaps are doing here today, going forward and doing proper journalistic work, and that is really the catalyst in promoting these government inquiries to come forward. Now is the time. We are seeing a resurgence of these care home abuse scandals coming. We need to jump on the back of it, piggyback it, and go with it. The system is never going to back us, but we must have righteous indignation. We must do the right thing. We must band together. I'm a whistleblower. There's many survivors here. We have a lot in common, because when you stand up and you speak out, one thing happens: you stand alone. We cannot be divided. We must stand for the common purpose that the children are the future. Children, when they get damaged, they get emotional trauma, they end up being damaged adults. And it takes 3 generations before that, if it isn't dealt with, to be filtered out. This is the rot in our society. 80% of young adults in our male prisons have come from abusive backgrounds. We have an 80% recidivism rate in our prison system. The system is not working. We need to help those in trauma get over their trauma, and the message is clear to all those perpetrators of child abuse: stop doing it. It may have happened to you, but stop doing it. You know what the pain is. We must stand together, and we must give justice to the victims and the survivors. God bless you all. Thank you.
God bless.